Hello, Professor Gibson. My name is Jalen Neely, and this is our presentation on college retention. My group members consist of Tyler, Clay, Rosendo, also. All right. So first we want to talk about just some stats on Defiance College. We want to focus on Defiance College's retention, also numbers on retention as a whole in D3 small institutions. So the first stat, Defiance College is a private liberal arts school founded in 1850. Defiance has a total undergrad enrollment of 608. That's of this year, according to our stats. That'll be in our references and things like that. It's a rural setting of a campus size of about 150 acres. It's a semester-based academic calendar. Best colleges in the Midwest region. It ranks 35th. Tuition and fees are $32,190 as the 2017-2018 school year, and these fluctuate based on what colleges think enrollment will be and participation in sports and things like that. So it will fluctuate because my freshman year it was a little lower, and they raised 3% since I've been here, and I'm a junior now. Continue. We're gonna talk about some more. In 2016 endowment is 14.1 million plus 58% acceptance rate, and I feel like with the acceptance rate, Defiance College needs to take that up and accept more students and not be so strict on the acceptance, because we already lose a lot of students. We'll talk about it here, but we lose a lot of students based on things that we'll talk about. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself, but I feel like Defiance needs to really take that number. That's a really determining factor when it comes to getting kids to stay in retention at Defiance. So the student-faculty ratio at Defiance is 11-to-1. Top majors include education, criminal justice, police, science, business administration and management, accounting, and sports and fitness, which is like, that also includes athletic training. The average freshman retention rate is 57%, which is horrible. I believe this is one of the reasons why I feel like they should accept more students, because the more students you accept, the more students will stay. 54% are male on campus and 46% are female. Some more. We have 94% of the students apply for need-based aid. 12% of the students' needs were fully met. 91%. Oh wait, go back one slide. Oh no, go back again. My bad. I thought we missed one. There we go. 12% of students' needs were met. 91% received some need-based aid. 80% received need-based self-help aid, which is a little bit different. 69% of students with self-help aid needs were met. The average need-based scholarship or grant award is $18,846, with our tuition being close to, well, room and board about $42,000 to $43,000. The average $18,000. Most kids and most parents can't pay, the full price to be at Defiance College. So that's another determining factor when we talk about retention. Room and board is about, like I said, $10,050, and 52% of students live on campus. Now with this, you have to think about how Defiance College has rules and bylaws put in place where if you're not under 21 or you're not over 21, you can't live off campus. So this is the way that Defiance College keeps money. This is what our group came up with. They keep money on campus because they can get this extra $10,000 each student. And we feel like that's another way for them to keep money and keep things on campus rather than just improving the college. Improving things that students want, improving things that students need. And I think we need to talk more with faculty and administration and the president and things like that about this stat, because a lot of kids can't afford to stay at school because they have to pay this $10,000 room and board. You know what I'm saying? If you knock that down, that's just a big difference. You know what I'm saying? You go back to that $18,000. You know what I'm saying? You knock $10,000 off of that. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. That's a big difference rather than a student staying and leaving. Now here's some the financial stats that we just talked about. Financial aid stats. Here's the number of applied need-based aid. Needs were fully met. Received need-based financial aid. Received based self-help aid. And average percent of needs met Didn't show up on the slide, I guess, so we're gonna move on.